Welcome to the Studio Little Bold podcast, where vision meets execution, creativity finds clarity, and mentorship unlocks potential. I'm your host, Abigail Osidiana, and this is the space for designers, dreamers, and change makers looking to build bold ideas and shape the future of interior design. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we have Wanda on set, and I can't wait to hear her experiences, her journey, why she chose interior design, her highs and lows. So, karibu sana, and thank you for coming to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you have a good time.
I hope so.
So
Yeah.
feel free and let's go. Single.
Yeah.
So please introduce yourself, tell us where you went to school, why you chose interior design, and all the good stuff.
Okay, so my name is Georgia Wandia. My online alias is Fundi Dame, Woman Fundi, of course. And so my academic background, I went to Maseno University. I did interior design with IT, University on the Equator. And then I transitioned to, I still do interior design and interior architecture, but I also do product design, furniture design, but with a focus on social impact design and sustainable design. What got me into the whole field is I've always been someone who's a tinkerer, someone who likes to work with their hands. So at one point I wanted to do, and I also like artifacts a lot. So at one point I wanted to be an archaeologist, mechatronics engineer. I wanted to be so many things. And then I wanted to be an architect, but I went to JQuat before, when people were choosing the subjects. I went to JQuat, and then I looked at that room, and then I was, this would suck my soul.
Which room, the hostel or the studio?
I went to the studio, and then I think it was busy period, and then I saw them, and then I saw what they were working on, and then I was told the years, and then it was 4 years, and then plus what, and then I was like, imagine.
So you did that level of research.
I want to look for
And
myself.
see.
What is this? And then I was like, this is not for
Wait,
me.
did someone push you to do that or just initiative?
Initiative. Yeah, because I was like, I'm not sure. I heard that the course is 4 years, and then you do the extra 2 years, so it becomes a total of 6, and then maybe 7 years to get certified for architecture. Then I did that hesabwe. It was like, I need to go and see where this is being done.
Yeah.
So I went to both UN and JQuat, and then a friend told me, at the end of the day, a lot of architects are actually doing interior design. So if there's a way you can just do it directly, there's no harm in it. And what exactly do you want to do? Do you want to be more on the structural elements? Do you want to design the exterior or the interior of the building? So that's how I ended up in interior design.
But how did you end up in Maseno, actually?
In Maseno. So now, after doing all that research, I decided to, so I actually got really good grades. Then I was like, I decided to just go to Maseno. I was like,
that is parallel or JAB?
JAB.
Okay.
Yeah. So I decided that would be my first choice. I think even it was my only choice, if I'm not wrong.
I didn't even waste time.
Yeah, I was like, this is what I want to do, and that's it. Whatever happens, you're not pushing me to medicine, guys.
So you weren't like worried, like, oh my God, Maseno is so far away, it's not in Nairobi. Why are you like so, Like,
yeah,
you are.
I was a bit worried because I was like, hey, it's so far. But at the same time, I was so excited to be at least far away. Find yourself completely because of the distance, and also the pace of life in Maseno is
slower.
Is slower, and it's actually a very interesting place to be.
But at this point, you don't know all that.
I didn't know. Me, I was just like, where is it? Let's go. We'll figure it out when we get there. Yeah, so I get there. I'm just like, okay. I'm in the hostel. I was put in the hostel with the many people. I was like, okay, this is life. This is life. So Maseno has, as everyone knows, I don't know about now, but during that time, the strikes were striking.
Yeah.
Every day. A lot of self-taught, a lot of work that you learn. Everything is almost self-taught. I think we didn't do models. A lot of things. There were a lot of modules we didn't do because of strikes, and also in our year because of the strikes, and also the elections.
So without the modules, how did you graduate?
No, you still do the module. You do the exam
without the learning it?
You'll get the, what are they called, the handout, the
Oh.
yeah, they'll send you the PDFs, so
Mujisome na msonge mbele.
mjisome na msonge mbele. So you have the basics. Uzuri, we had the basics by then, because I think elections must have been 3 years in. Yeah, so we had already had the basics for most things.
So now you've gone to Maseno. There are strikes here and there. You're being given handouts and just figuring it out.
Yeah.
What do you think? And then now you've left the school, yeah?
Yeah.
You're in the real world. What do you think the impact of education had on your career?
First of all, let me backtrack a bit while in school, because we had such long holidays because of being sent home a lot. That's how I started that's how my interest for social impact design came in, because during the holidays I used to volunteer with people who make bags. So I was working with a community which was there, so that's where a bit of product design came in. So helping them, it was a lot of export products, so people from the community being taught how to sew, how to create bags, how to make dresses and things like that. So I was helping with that. And then also I also worked at a cutting shop for a bit. Hey, you sew. Hey.
Maybe that unit in Campo for sewing. What was it called?
It was called textiles.
Textiles.
That is where I realized I'm not a decorator. Please.
Because of the sewing.
I was like, Mimi, the cutting, you'll never find me. Because you're sewing from morning to evening. And then the dust, and then at the same time when you're cutting the thing,
fabric.
Also,
you cut for yourself.
Yeah, you cut.
There's not pairings. Sometimes
you have pairings. Ama, they help you do the first cut, and then you
repeat.
And then now you do the hemming, and then you put the eyelets. You put it. You're just like, hey, guys. And then you go now to do the hanging of the curtains.
Wait, so how long did you do this one?
I think I was doing if I'm at home, that's when I was doing.
Maybe during the holidays. Sorry. So you mentioned you are doing this during the holidays when you're in Campo now.
Yeah, either during the holidays or when we are sent home. So I just find another place to go.
So ukashona.
Nikashona. Hata nikaquit. Kila mtu na talanta yake. Heshimu kazi ya mtu.
So actually, when you left, because now you've mentioned a lot of things. So first of all, for our viewers there, what does social impact design? I've written it down.
Yes.
Tell them.
So social impact design is design with a purpose. So when we say social, it's people. So most people know about environmental impact. So that's about the environment and taking care of the environment, sustainability, all that good stuff. Now, social impact focuses more on the people. So making sure whatever you do, the practices that you're doing help as many people as possible. You're working with the community. You're working with, you're working on an impact matrix other than just the financial matrix. And then under social, there's also social economic, which is also quite important. So for example, if you're making something or if you're doing a project, you make sure when I'm doing this project, X amount of people come from that community. If there's any scaling, any upscaling, any training that needs to be done, that's factored into your bottom line. And so you're working with the community, making sure they earn, because when one person earns, now they're the beneficiaries of the thing, whatever it is. Yes. Yeah.
So I have 2 questions. So I don't know what direction to go. Let me go with this first. So what works specifically in social impact? Tell me, you are making the bags, bags only, or were there other things?
It was bags. I think there was jewelry. There was. And then there were other people who are doing more the fashion side, so clothes and things like that.
That's in Nairobi now?
No, it was in Nakuru.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I'm from Nakuru. Yes.
Okay. And then now when you've left, now let me take you back a bit. So you've left campus. What's the first job you get or first internship? Is it in interior design, like a firm that does consultancy, that does site, or it's still now product design, furniture design? What was it?
So my first firm was doing furniture furniture and interior design. So my first project was actually in the northern side. So it was Uko Samburu.
Were you physically there? Am you're doing and then sending there or coordinating?
No. I was the man on the ground. It was hot. I was the only one who was speaking. I think I was the only woman on site, apart from when my boss would come in here and there. But most of the time, I was the only woman on site.
Wow.
And because, of course, living conditions, it's a resort project. There's nothing there. So having to have so many women will be a bit of a risk. So it was mostly men on site, unless there's something that needs to be done. And then... so we would take, so me, I used to say, there was a lot happening. So I was there. I would come from Nairobi to go to Samburu. We used to take like a private, I think it was a helicopter, or was it what? Yeah, one of those things. So it was one of them.
It's a
groups. I just know I used to go to Wilson. I used to feel like, But once I reached on site, I was the only one. Now, one of the things that stood out in that project was where I learned about site cleanup. Hamjabeba labor. You have not carried labor for site cleanup. And it's a big project, ni mimi, and then you've put like 2 more people. So I used to say, I've entered Wilson to go and clean the site. So when you see me here, I know it looks like I'm high flying, I'm taking the pictures, but guys, I'm there with HCL and a wire brush. Because you have to do it if the inspection is coming in the morning and the deadline is one day. You are 3 people
to clean the... How big was it?
It was big. It was do I remember? It was like 20 cottages.
In one day.
Yeah, It was like, I think it should be 3. We took like 2 days, and then you're working from morning to, I think the last day we worked until I think 1 a.m. And then we drove out to accommodation, which was like another 2 hours because it was very
remote.
The whole day you're just like this with the HCL. Hey, you are bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
You're just there burning.
There are no when you didn't have like masks, gloves, and things.
It's ninis.
It penetrates.
It eventually it wears it out kidogo. So sometimes you get burnt or they splash back when you're working.
What?
So you can get splash here and there. So
I like using this story laughing.
It was fun. Okay, it was funny. And also, I think I was thinking, this is so interesting. What is going on?
Really?
And then now the other people on the team who are in the same team were more of the architects and the engineers. They're like, this does not concern us, guys.
We are
as we're not, we are concerned about exterior. God. This is you guys' docket. You guys have to make this done before inspection in the morning because the project is so high level. And
so who's inspecting actually in the morning? The client?
Yeah, the client. Yeah, so it was a kind of high level client. So they would come in. There's so many. They're just there doing the walk around. Hey, you have not slept. You were just there.
But wait, how come? How long did this project run? Give or take?
I think when I was there, I can't say for sure. I think probably more than 2 years.
Oh, so you joined in between?
Yeah, I actually joined in between to the end.
So with that, no one knew that you needed to have cleaners?
Okay, I don't think people think about the whole scope of work when they're thinking. People don't think about the whole scope of work when it comes to these things. You're just like, there's the tiling, there's the kweka the makuti on the roof, the features, the water, the swimming pools. People are thinking about that, but there are also this fine details
that you need, because even after you clean, where are those things being dumped? The garbage, who is removing the garbage out?
Yes.
Where is it being taken to? Where is it being disposed?
It used to be, I think it was being taken somewhere, still in Samburu.
Who is taking them now?
I think there was a truck coming. There, I don't remember.
Where? So after that, did you move into any consultancy, or that defined your path?
Yes, it sort of defined my path because now after that, I also entered now furniture design with the same company. So I started doing furniture design with her. I realized that I really like working with people. So any chance I get, and then I found myself. So it's actually I found myself because I thought I was joining an interior design firm, and then it turned out it converted into a furniture design firm. So,
but it was interior design like fully before, or
yeah. It was fully interior design, and then there was, I think, a shake-up, and then they decided some people went to do something different and others went to do something different. So I remained with the
ones who are doing now furniture.
Yeah, the ones who are doing furniture.
So ever after that, did you ever move into interior design? Done.
So now I just found myself, now I'm doing some projects here and there. I would get projects which are interior design related and furniture design related. So things that are a bit together. Yeah. So especially when it comes to fit outs and things like that. Sometimes we would do like the tiling, the flooring, all that. But I remember when I was there, when I was doing just that one job, I think I went for an interview because I was still straight out of school. I went for an interview at an interior design firm. Friends.
What did they say?
So I of course I passed the practical because it's CAD. I'm just like, if it's CAD, of course. I entered the interview, they're asking me about gypsum. So, how do you connect what is the MM between the this and this? And you know me, I had been doing furniture for so long. I'm like, I'm not sure what the specifics. Especially, I think that part I was okay. Yeah, when they asked me, so when it comes to projects like interior design projects, how many can you handle in a span of 3 months? And I'm just like, okay. In my head, I'm trying to guess numbers.
I hope you didn't say 10.
I think I must have said like 6.
Oh my God.
6 projects.
Oh, how? Superman. Wakanoto, this is a joker.
They were like, this one. So I think the feedback was, you're very skilled and knowledgeable, but at the same time, I think your direction is not what we are looking for, because we're looking for someone who's more to do the site work. But I found myself later, I've entered now not only site work, but site work inside the site work. Yeah, so later.
Oh. So what would you say then with this, What would you say are some of the challenges that you faced during your transition out from school, this Jobos, Samburu, the next one? What would you say?
So, okay. I've said the first one and then the second one. And then now there's the third one. Now when I started doing like NGO, so now social impact. So that I also started as an intern. So in all of them I started. So I have many internships for different things. So each taught me something different. The first one, I'd say, hey, first of all, just understand your contract. Tell us especially when you I think that I've understood that part for contract until today. Just know what your contract is saying. The first job I didn't have a contract. I was just there on vibes. I was just happy to be paid.
To be there. You're like, wow, good job.
Wow, and then I think at that point in time, not many people in my class had gotten work. Jobs. So I was just like, wow, I am here, I'm doing all these things.
So what makes you feel that knowing your contract is so important? You don't have to mention all the specific names. Yeah, just the lesson around it.
Not any specifics, because the lesson on contract, I've continued to have it until it has entered my head. Until
what happened, for example?
As recent as I think even last year, when you're working. Because sometimes there are some clauses in your contract you have to look at if you're in employment. Things like any other work, you know?
Any other duties.
Any other duties. Look at it carefully. What are these any other duties? Ask questions. And then also...
in that case, let me just reel you in a bit. What happened? Or what do I say? What happened that made you just question, this any other duties?
You'll find you say all those any other duties. This will be your main job.
Now, for example, what work were you being given? Don't mention the company, just General.
So in general, actually, this is something that is in, I think every designer goes through. It's not in any particular, it's not anyone, it's not zeroed into any company. Everywhere. That clause, if you're given that clause, that means you're going to do, which is also part of growth, which it's something I grapple with, because on one hand it's part of your growth, but on the other hand you'll be very burnt out, and if you didn't have a contract in the first place, not even you didn't have that clause, so you didn't even have anything. So you find yourself, you're doing from operations, marketing, social media. When you say you're a designer, especially here in Kenya, be specific what designer you are, because you'll find yourself, you're graphics, product, you're doing operations, you're doing sourcing, you're doing logistics, you're doing marketing, you're also doing interior design, you're doing site supervision if there's a site, and also you're doing workshop supervision, which are two different things. You're also doing, this is something that has happened.
But these things are all interchanged. When I listen to your any other duties, what I'm picking is perhaps these places weren't quite defined in how they do, because what I know, like, for, let's say, there's usually junior interior designer, lead, what. So what I know is the higher you go up that ladder, the more like some of these things are in. Like, for example, when you get into lead and whatever, you'll be involved in ops. You'll be involved with a bit of marketing.
Which actually helped if Kitambo you had already tasted it. Because now, that's why I'm saying it's like...
you don't know whether to complain or not about it.
Because it's also part of your growth. If you don't do this work, even if you start your own company, it's going to be so difficult, because you only know what you know. You only know what you were assigned to. But sometimes, because you were so spread out, you will end up knowing a lot of things. But at the same time, your metrics for performance is on the role that you are assigned to.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting, because surely the KPIs need to match the tasks. Okay, so I get where you're coming from with understand your contract, because if you're telling me I'm doing all these things, also the KPIs need to match what I'm doing. For example, if I'm doing ops, I'm doing the drawings and site and whatever, at least my KPI, need to have one that's touching on ops. I need to have 2 on design. Maybe, okay, may I usually say more than 4 KPIs is too much. You won't even remember what you're being tested, and it's difficult to measure and whatever. So let's say there are 4 for the purpose of this conversation. So one needs to be on ops, one needs to be on design, one needs to be on site, and one needs to be maybe on clients or something like that if you're doing the marketing. But now you can't be doing all those and then you're not, because surely if you're putting your effort in marketing and ops and whatever, something is going to fall off the the cracks. You get, because you're like maybe chasing clients, you're trying to figure out if people in the office have drunk tea.
Yes. And then you go to your meeting, your final, like, let's say things go wrong, and then you have your performance review. Actually, you go to your performance review, and they're measuring you against the metrics of the job you were hired for. They're not measuring you for any other duties. So you'll be asked, okay, so you've said you've done that, you've been doing a banging job, especially if you're working with white people. You've been doing an amazing job. However, I feel like when it comes to ABCD, which was actually your main job, but maybe you didn't really read your contract well. Maybe your contract was too vague. You need your contract to be very direct. What exactly have you hired me to do? Put that as your first. Even if they tell you to do all these other things, make sure you're the best at
the main duty that you were hired for.
Because what happens is, if during your internships and early in your career you are really spread out, you'll find that later you'll continue just being spread out, because in your head you're just like, this is still part of my role. Let me go and do this. You'll even it's called what? What is the word? You'll even be there saying, can I help you? Yeah, I can see you're struggling with this. Oh, I've done this before. Let me help you with that. That's not your job.
So, okay, in these scenarios, have you ever gone to, what's the word in English? In Kiswahili, kujitetea. Like, okay, can you move me into this and this, because I see like I'm spending most of my time doing this.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work because maybe the company doesn't even have the facilities to have you get out from
But how
X
if
role
that's like the main
to
thing you're
Y
doing?
role.
So let's say, for example,
Mm,
I'll give myself as an example. So I used to do interior design. Then at some point, because of you being spread thin here and there from internship, whatever, I figured out that I'm really good at ops. Yeah. And I'm more passionate on the ops side rather than the design side, right?
yeah.
So I was like, I think I need to change careers, but
Yes.
still within the design field. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, I want to try out ops, but in interior design. You know, but I went and articulated it like, oh, by the way, you guys don't have an ops manager. So me, I'm going to take it over and I'm
Yes.
going to do. So you see, you can't start asking me next week where are the drawings. And I was very
Yes.
specific. I remember the conversation. I said, oh, by the way, you guys don't have an ops manager. No, let me reel it back. I started doing the ops work for 1 year without being asked, as I'm
Yes.
still doing my design work. So see, 1 year passed. Then I went, I was like, okay, by the way, you guys don't have an ops manager. I'm going to effective immediately when we fika Kenya. I'm your ops manager and I'm
Yes.
no longer doing drawings. So no one expected Abigail to do drawings
Yes.
at that point, you see. But I advocated, and I remember his response was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
oh, you've seen a gap. You want to fill it?
Go ahead.
Proceed. You get that's where I'm coming up with the question of how is the position not there if you're busy fully in that?
So sometimes if the budget is not there to hire for that position, or if they can see that you've been doing the position, you've been doing the position and that position and the other position and everything has been going okay, they won't see the need.
No, but you see, like for me, for example, you have to also be strategic in these
Yeah,
things.
but you have to be strategic.
I never asked for a raise. I told them,
Yeah, you
effective
don't
when I
ask.
reach, I'm doing this. So by the time I've taken it up, and I've finished now another year, I'm like, okay, by the way, I've been running your ops for this, nini. Now my salary needs to change. Now what will you do? I'm already doing the work.
Yes, now you have
and
to
I
do
already
it.
stopped doing the drawings.
We're already in this other
I'm
thing.
already in it. So you can't tell me that the position is not there. You can't tell me the work is not there. I've been doing the work. In fact, you've even been giving me now, since you're this, Kucha, you'll be doing presentations to who?
Yes.
You'll be going to look for the clients. You'll be doing what I've been doing. In fact, you even added tasks to me.
I think it works. It works. You see, it also depends on the company you're working for. If it's fully corporate, possible. Non-profit. Kama if it has not been put on the budget, it has not been put on the budget.
That's a nice point. Actually, I'll take that home because I'm talking from a point of, let me call it privilege.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Thinking that all places can be shaken up.
Yes.
There are places, actually, you're right.
Yeah, there are places, it's almost like set in stone. You are the one who has given yourself that job. Who do you think?
So meaning now then, if you're dealing with NGOs, then you just have to then negotiate and be like, hey, by the way, you guys, my KPIs are ABCD, and I'm feeling like it's really taking away. Maybe can these other things be reduced? You don't like be a brat about it, but you just talk and make sure you what do you think you tell people to do?
Yes, exactly. You need to sit down and then create your KPIs for whatever. Now you have your new position that you have already seen that this is my position. List them down, even if it's five pages. List all your roles. The person needs to see what you're doing because something that we assume is that people already know what you're doing. No one knows what you're doing. No one knows. They just find things have happened. They're like, oh, everything has been posted. The products have been delivered. The designs are done. People don't know. If you don't say what you've done, no one knows. And then you'll find like the people with the bigger personalities are the ones who are doing the less work. You with your small personality are just there. Oh, me. Poor me. You'll find yourself overextending yourself. No one knows what you're doing. They haven't even thought to add it in the budget maybe for the next financial year. They have not thought about it because no one has said. Or sometimes they know but wanaji
ile kujifanya like
wakati like anyway.
And what do you think then your challenges with navigating hierarchies? Have you ever had those challenges? Like,
yes,
you have.
Yeah.
What was your challenge?
There are a lot of challenges with hierarchies. When you transition from one role to another, there's a bit of a shake-up with people who you are in the same position with. And there's a lot of, okay, now who are you to tell me what to do at this point? And then also there's, if a company was working in an XYZ, that's also another thing. It's a whole different story when you're working with corporate, when you're working with startup, when you're working with something NGO, and when you're working on a company that is like a growth stage, in the growth stage of Nini, and each of them have their own ways of working. If you go with the way you were working with a startup, which was very free flowing, yes, you were doing a lot of work, but you would go directly to the CEO and be like, so today this happened. It's not the same way you would go in a corporate office, because in a corporate office, when will you even see that director? You'll never see him, or maybe you'll see him, but he's just looking at you from the side. So you need to know. First, you need to know which position you're in, depending on the It's very important. Ask, which position am I in? Because you might be a senior and you don't know. You might be a junior and you don't know.
You're a senior and you don't know.
Imagine, yes. Yes.
How?
You can be a senior and you don't know.
How?
Don't ask
Even
questions.
your role doesn't tell you like, hey, I'm a senior interior designer, for example.
The role might say just interior designer.
But now you're the lead on the team.
I knew you've been thinking you're an employee. You'll be shocked. So that's also corporate, because corporate, they don't have time to talk to you. Not come and tell you, hey, so, you're just wondering, why are they slacking me?
Hey, you come to bring laughs here.
This issue is not mine.
And you've been dragged along. I'm
being dragged along. Oh, you are a senior. You'll know much later. Why? It's interesting.
So for you, your take on that is know what your position is before anything else.
Yeah, I think when you're getting hired, let's just start with what is my role? What is my position? Now, from there, now start working
backwards.
Okay, so now in this position, what am I supposed to do?
But when you Wanda, these places you've been working, they don't give you like a JD.
You see, JDs are loose. Hey, let me tell you, the thing is, also when it comes to design, is so unregulated. That I think when they're writing these rules, they're just like, we're thinking. I've been looking for someone to do this and this and this. But the JD is not, it's not set in stone.
Then I think I'm trying. I think I'm
really
trying because...
You might be. You might be. Yeah. Because otherwise you can find yourself, you're just like, oh my, I'm just easy. I came here in the morning, in the evening. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to write impact reports. That is me. Oh my. Wow. So you really need to understand what your role is. And also, even if there's a hierarchy, just also learn how to kujitetea. Because it's very easy to be walked all over. I don't know.
So how would you give people like tips on how kujitetea? Kujitetea in English is how to defend, to speak up for yourself,
Yeah, how to speak up for it. So first of all, document everything, document your conversations, document what you're doing. But some people don't like it. Don't like when you document. There might be a bit of back and forth, but once someone knows how you work, that's how you work. The second thing, as a woman, stop giving yourself work for taking care of people.
Like what?
You'll find in an office, you're just, I don't know, you've given yourself the role of helper.
Like what? Give me an example of helper role.
Or in a meeting, people have come in for the meeting. There are small things that I notice, and there are small things that I used to do. There's a meeting, everyone is there. You might even be the CEO. You might even be the director. Why are you serving people tea?
Oh, This brings me to another story. I don't know if I saw it on the internet or about this lady who was the only woman in zinaitwa nini, this executive boards of companies. And she remembers when she joined, she was the only, like there was no other. So when she joined, they would always be like, okay, now let's say Wanda, lead us in a word of prayer. And then now everyone is sitting, oh, Wanda, please serve us some tea. So she like took a minute and was like, this guys, the moment I start accepting that this is my role, this will be my role forever. The next meeting it happened, and it's the chairman who would point Wandia to do it. Yeah. And I remember what she said. She was like, what she learned about navigating boards was the second time it happened, she didn't let it slide. Yeah. She told him, oh, great. So I'll serve the tea today. And will you take it up next week?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it was week, but you get the point. If it was month or year or quarter or whatever, like in the next meeting, will you be the one to serve us the tea? And then when the next meeting happened, they're coming to ask her again. She's like, oh, you're the one who was to serve us tea today. And she sat down. Do you know that thing Isha there? And then
it's so important. Well, don't stop giving yourself work. You're there being the cleaner. You see, if you're working in a small place, especially furniture, let me say most likely. Let's say furniture. Because I feel like interior design is, people say, you guys say it's very male dominated. You don't know furniture and product design. Furniture and product design, there are no women. Women are CEOs. They are founders. There's no one on their field. You'll find women run furniture companies. We have seen that there are so many. But designers, like people who are doing furniture design, women, I think there are very few or there are none at all. So you'll find yourself in most spaces, you're the only woman at that position. Maybe there are some people who are sewing and doing other things, but when it comes to that, you're the only one. So you go to a meeting, you'll find yourself, your first instinct is to make everyone comfortable. Your first instinct is, this place is looking dirty. Let me organize this workshop. Let me help with this. You'll find that's the position you'll be put at, and that's how they'll think about you when they think about Georgia, when they think about Wanda. They're just like, that's she's very good with people. You'll find yourself, you've been relegated to that role, and then if there's a man who's even at a lower position that he's very good, he really understands the process. He understands, but she's very good with dealing with clients. She's very good with dealing with suppliers, especially when it comes to the women suppliers. Just call her, she'll be the one who'll be handling that. But that means you're being paid less because you're not doing the
work that's bringing the most value.
Yes, you're not doing the work that brings the most value. You're doing the soft work, which is also very important. But it's not...
If that's not what you wanted, then you're taking yourself on a tangent that you don't want to go.
Yes.
A rabbit hole that will never end.
And they can remove the soft person. They're just like, if the company is not doing well, it's very easy. You'll just remove that one. You won't remove the tech guy, the person who's technical,
holding
the guy who's holding the fort. You'll remove the person for the softness. So you need to be very careful. And also, if there are other skills you can get apart from what you're getting in school. So if you're entering furniture or product design and you can do a bit of electrical, you can do a bit of carpentry, a bit of welding, a bit of hard skills, things that you can do with your hand. First, so that you can understand the process and to a T, because sometimes the fundis will talk to you the way they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Even this is how this is done. This is how this has always been done. Or you've won makeup to the workshop or to site that day. Oh, your lips are kissable. What? Because they're like, this one doesn't even understand the process. You need to assert dominance when you enter. If something is wrong, you need to know how to fix it. Not only say, can you move this a bit? Can you move this a bit? You need to even, to some point, you need to be able to say, this way, if I take this, see, it has worked. Can you proceed with what I was telling you? Because otherwise they won't take you seriously. And they can't take you seriously, but there's a bit of a disconnect. You just need to have a skill.
Yeah. So, like for you, did you ever find yourself having to go and learn, for example, welding, woodwork, like carpentry, leave alone the work experience ya jobo and seeing what's being done? Like, have you ever found yourself having to, it's more or less like, okay, you're seeing what's happening, you're also watching like on YouTube and stuff like that?
So I actually decided to do it this year because before then I was so busy. And then I was like, no, now is the time. I've seen, I have been getting the evidence, but now I actually need to do it. Because at one point I was running an all-female workshop. That wasn't stressful. It was like, and I started with them from the get-go because, in social impact, you've trained and then you work with that team. So it was a fully female. That one wasn't a problem. Now transitioning to a mixed bag, I started noticing, okay, there are some things that need me. So I had a bit of carpentry experience, but I decided to get like a more fully carpentry experience because at least you can prototype. If you can prototype, you can give the fundi and tell them, okay, now this is the prototype. Tengeneza hivi. You can correct. But because I've worked in so many things, at the same time, I wasn't completely blank because at one point I was also a production officer. So that means nimeketi chini, relaxing. Wow, there's a fire. There's a fire downstairs. Gasket has blown. What is a gasket? You need to know how to fix a gasket, how to change oil, what machines, what kind of maintenance needs to be done. You need to know how to sharpen the blades. So at least I had already that, but now I want to get the physical skill.
Physical one. Yeah. Where. And what do you think in all your journey, what's like, what surprises do you think you encountered? An unexpected area of growth.
Oh, unexpected area of growth. I think in dealing with people from very varied backgrounds. So from working with community to working with people we're on the same level with, to working with people, maybe people who have had very special education, quote unquote. So, and also working with dignitaries and things like that. So learning how to deal with so many different kinds of people and how to handle different situations. Having different voices for dealing with different things. When you're talking to your fundi, is not how you'll talk to your client, is not how you talk to even your accent. You need to be like small code switching. It helps a bit with different
what does
things.
it help with for anyone who doesn't know?
So when you're code switching, code switching is like how you talk. So for example, the way I'm talking right now, it's more low, but sometimes when I'm doing marketing, my voice is very high. Hi, how are you? How's it going? My voice changes when I'm talking to some in different things. So learning how your different audience deserves you to show up in a different way and showing up both how you look, but also your voice, everything. It's important. So that I learned. Another thing is, because of so many experiences, you're able to fully run a company. Because I think if I hadn't had all those experiences, first I wouldn't have known what's working and what's not, but also I wouldn't have things like social media. Honestly, as much as I hated doing it, I don't think there's any other way I would have done it if it wasn't by force. Because I would find myself, if I hadn't done it on my own, I've just decided to do no. I wouldn't even be online.
So also for me, social media, content, I'm really trying
content. And then importance of marketing. And then when you're starting a company, you know the way people start companies with designers. I've come to realize that it's one of the things you need your marketer, because you might have the product, you might have all the skill, but if you're not good at marketing and you can't hire someone for that role, either you go and learn how to do it or hire someone for that role, because I think it's actually one of the most important roles, because at the end of the day, cash is king.
Exactly.
Even if you want to help 3,000 people and you don't have money, you need to earn the money. So that's another I think lesson and also point of growth. Another point of growth, I actually, though people say education is not important, I think education is very important. My education for Maseno was important because it made me very adaptable, because I think nothing phases me. I'm just like, okay, let's continue. I can learn. It actually taught me how to learn.
Why? Because of the strikes and going home and back, like that being unsettled, or which part of it?
And then also learning how to survive. It's not everything is going to be handed to you. You need to figure out, because design is so competitive, you need to figure out, okay, so here is where we are. I guess how do I figure this out? Do I need to sign up for courses? Do I need to sign up for classes? And then, when you go to each company uses different software. That's another thing I would tell someone straight from school. You might know your ArchiCAD. You might go to AutoCAD. You might go to a company that uses Revit. You might go to a company that uses Rhino. You might go to... Hey, God forbid you find yourself in a company that uses Grasshopper. You will sweat. You will sweat. You will sweat.
Hey, Wanda. Wewe ulikuwa unaniambia unaogopa kamera. Ai. You're like shit. What the hell? Okay. So maybe to just like close off, what would you say like your biggest advice to interior designers would be, aspiring people who are just budding, either they're still in campo or leaving, early stages?
I would say be adaptable, first of all. The job you think you want might not be the job you want. You might be thinking
that again.
The job you think you want might not be the job you want. You might think you've always wanted to work in corporate, in a very big office with cappuccino and all the things, and then you might find yourself there. That's not what you want. So be very flexible in your mind. The direction that you think you want to take, you might get it and decide, this is not what I want to do. I actually prefer something else. Also in work, when you find that, for example, when you were saying about you found yourself, you actually like operations, just agree to a point, but try and learn everything, at least in the first years, and then you can narrow down what you want. Another thing would be...
because also like for me, that switch, I think I did it at year 7, after year 7 of working.
Actually that's the only time even you can do, because you need to try everything. You need to
and
try
I'd gone
everything.
through all the ranks. Actually, there was nowhere else to
Yes.
go.
Try being this, try being that. You might even, you might end up not wanting to be in management. That's another thing that people don't talk about. Everyone thinks everyone wants to climb to the top. Not everyone wants to climb to the top. You might actually really just like being in the office and doing design. And then also, depending on the company you land, you might find you like site. You might find you're only doing site work, or you're only doing design work. So beginning of career, it's nice to do all of them, and then go narrowing down. Maybe look for somewhere else, or look for somewhere else that does something different than somewhere else, and then eventually you can be able to start your own company, or you can just start from the jump and then
float and swim.
ufunze na ulimwengu. You will learn. By hook or crook, you will learn. And then something else, I think they do a lot of... If you're changing careers drastically, for example, if people think that interior design and product design are the same, they're not. Furniture design is close, but if you're going to product design, just know it's a whole different
ball game.
It's a whole different ball game. The people who are in that ball game are also very different. So you need also to invest in yourself, invest in learning that new skill. You can start with maybe something small and then invest in learning a bit more. For example, in interior design, sketching is important, but it's not that important. In furniture, it starts getting more important. But by the time we're reaching in product design, you need to know how to sketch. You need
Yeah.
to know how to iterate quickly. You need to know how to combine small ideas, because it's such a small thing, but you need to combine so many things to
Yeah.
make that small thing work. So invest in yourself, and then I don't know what else. I think just be open.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just about
actually
being
seem
open.
very open-minded, like, okay, you know what? This is the shocker. We adapt. We move. Twende kazi. Sindio?
Yes, you improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah.
Na
Improvise, adapt, overcome. Bas.
one tu venye just check, maybe you might end up liking something so different. You might end up liking entering interior design, but entering into interior styling
Yeah.
and social media. Why not?
Yeah, because like for me, there I said I like more like the ops side. But now since I have a design firm, I still have to do like full interior design. So now if I was to say, okay, you're not choosing really, you have to do interior design. I'd rather do, or rather I primarily focus on interior architecture, not the styling. So now when the project comes with styling, ni sawa. But if I could just do the interior architecture and you get a stylist, it is okay. Like, and then mchague hapo makatins na mavitu zenu, like, I don't even see a loss. Like, it's okay.
Yes.
You give someone else, because there are people who are really good at it and they just see like unusual materials and like to mix patterns and prints and, you know.
Interior styling is a whole different ballgame.
I agree.
Especially if you don't even know, I don't know which print goes with which print.
Yeah.
You just like, hey.
Even how to mix metals, you don't know how to mix the metals.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you don't even know how to pick like unusual things and materials. I remember there's someone I used to work with and he was really, really good at styling, but could not draw or do interior, whatever to save his life. But he would just pick things and you know, you can go and you're like trying to think, quickly, it's just move on. It's like, okay, this done. You put them together, you're like, wow. And you'd have to sit, pull your drawing, confirm.
With your mood boards.
Yeah, exactly. You're checking mood boards. He got it in his head. He's moving quickly.
Yeah, there with your mood boards, and even you've gone to sleep.
Yeah.
You've thought something else.
Yeah.
Because you're no, this idea is not working. Let me try something else. You'll spend so much time. And also, if something is not for you, leave it alone. Go to next.
Yeah.
Like, just... I think another thing that I would tell someone, just bounce back quickly. Whatever you're doing, just bounce back. If something does not work, change, go to the next thing, change, go to the next thing.
But how long is that? How would someone know how long is long and how long is short?
Me, don't ask me. I've stayed in some situations a bit too long. But I came to realize there's a time when you know the story has ended. This is the end of the story. You've tried everything. You've tried your best. You've looked at it. You're just like, this is not working. I need to try something else. Then you just try. Sometimes you might stay in a situation so long that changing will be a bit difficult. For example, if you find yourself, you're doing in a line, you find yourself, you've entered one line and you don't want to be in that line, there I'd say change quickly, because there comes a point after you've said maybe 7 years and you've never touched anything in that line, you'll have to start again from zero, and you have to be willing to start from zero again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, there you have it, guys. I think this was such a... You know what? From this episode, I think I've taken something away. Let me tell you, I never used to be... first of all, okay, let me not say never used to be. I'm not a people person. So this is what I'm working on this year. I'm not a people person at all. First of all, I'm an introvert. You know, so
I'm also an introvert.
Yeah. So if I could sit in my cocoon and just do my work quietly and someone just sends me M-Pesa or bank transfer, I would be so happy without having to interact, yeah? But now being like in a business and trying to adapt and trying to try new things, I was like, okay, let me try the podcast, you get? But now, even like when I was having this conversation and also the previous one, I was like, this is so interesting to hear people's stories. Like, I'm starting to really, really enjoy. Like, the podcast is becoming what I didn't expect. You get? Like, I expected...
And people have so many stories.
Yeah.
There's also, like, I think there's a friend. Oh, I hope that phone, you can't hear it.
No.
There's a friend of mine who who we were speaking, and then she was like, I think there needs to be a therapy for designers because people are going through so much. And I think that's also something we need to tell the people who are coming in. It's very unregulated. The design industry needs some regulation because people are going through a lot of things, from racism to sexism to sexual harassment. There's so much happening that people are sweeping under the rug, especially if you're working in a niche field. Maybe the people who are working in something that is more something in a corporate office or something that is more being seen are not going through it. People have so many stories, and having a platform where even the younger people entering the industry can say, oh, okay, so this happens. I remember there was a time I used to say, oh, where are the mentors? Because some things, what is this?
What is this?
Who can I talk to about A, B, C, D? Can we have, in all these associations, there are so many. Can they have a thing where they have, where the people who have been there longer can talk to the people who are about real experiences, not this, oh, I struggled, I went and did this, like real actual experiences. It will go a long way with helping people, I think.
So I've really started to like, and that, like, you come to realize there's so many gaps. One, two, I've started to learn, like, okay, even what I thought I knew, I still don't know quite a bit. You know, because now, even like for today, I'd never thought about it, how different it is to be in an NGO, you know, versus a startup versus a very big firm. You know, you come from your own personal experiences and what worked for you, and you're like steadfast. You know, ni hivi kunaendaga, you know, and it's so different. So okay, I'm starting to really enjoy this. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm sure people will also enjoy, see other people. Also, watch the previous episode, you get shocked on that one because I left there stunned. Here, I'm just on another level. So thank you so much also for making this experience like enjoyable for this introvert over here.
Thank you as well.
And for making time and for sharing, you know, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andia.
Thank you.
So we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share, subscribe, and follow Andy. I'm going to tag her on the posts on Instagram, and you go check out our full video on YouTube. Sawa. Until next time, bye.